Hey everybody, this is the Facebook Ads with a Twang podcast. I'm your host Ben Blackman, and today we're going to be talking about how to set up and use Instagram ads. Here comes episode 76. Facebook Ads with a Twang is dedicated to taking the often overcomplicated process of creating simple, successful Facebook ads, breaking them down step by step in less than 10 minutes at a time. Let's get started. All right, welcome everybody to episode 76, and we're talking about Instagram ads. So on episode 75, I talked about why you should be using Instagram ads in your business right now, so you may want to go back and check that out if you didn't already. There's also, I have an episode, if you listened to it before, it's episode 23, quite a while back, and basically on that episode, I told you not to use Instagram ads, at least not yet. Okay, well now is the yet. So we're going to talk about setting them up and that kind of thing. The first thing I kind of wanted to address is what can you do with Instagram ads, and you're going to use them you can use them both for your primary targeting and retargeting. Now in the past, me personally and for most of my clients, I'd only used them for mostly retargeting. Okay, but now because the cost has come way down on Instagram ads for most markets, not everybody, but most, it's really become a lot more effective and a lot better to use. So primary targeting is the emphasis on that, meaning, is to have a really compelling image and getting a lot of clicks. I mean, that's what you're trying to do. Okay, that you're trying to instigate a click. Retargeting is for things like sales, to your sales page, lead magnet, webinar, booking strategy sessions, those kinds of things. That's why you would use Instagram. It's basically the same as Facebook in that respect, or any other paid advertising platform, whether it's Google Display or YouTube ads or whatever. So let's just kind of talk about the ad basics for Instagram. And just to kind of be clear, and for those that are just listening, I do have this pulled up. You can check out the YouTube video on this because I go through the video on it like I'm trying to do all my episodes now that have at least some video to it. But this is all done, to run an Instagram ad, it's all done in the Facebook Ads Manager. Now something you should bear in mind is, yes, you can actually promote a post, an Instagram post. You can promote it from within the app. That is true. However, it's kind of like boosting a post on Facebook. You don't get all the options that you want, and you can't do all the things that you really would want to do. So I still suggest to go back and use Facebook Ads Manager to set up your Instagram ads. Usually, when you promote posts, you don't get what you're looking for, and you can't measure it as well. So until further notice, just go ahead and do it from the Facebook Ads Manager. But you go into the same place. It's just a matter of changing a couple of little things. So let me just kind of talk about the ad basics. The ad types that you can use are you can use it like an image ad. You can use carousel, collection, and video ads. You can use all those, right? And you have a couple of options for the placements, and one is called, you can do the feed, just like in the normal feed, and then stories. Okay, for the most part, we're going to use the feed. Okay, there are times when you do want to use stories, but not for most people initially. Okay, we're going to use the feed. Now you can certainly test out what you like. From an image standpoint, the best type of images to use are with a 1-to-1 ratio. And what I'm basically saying is a square. If you can use a square image, you're usually better off. So it'll be something like 1080 by 1080 or 600 by 600 or something like that. That's what you want to use with your image. With you really want to use lots of contrast. Okay, in the image, you want to have it really stand out and pop off the page, because you're going to try to incite a lot more clicks. All right, so you're going to have a lot more clicks going to your landing page or whatever page that they're going to. Even though you may have fewer conversions, you're going to get a lot more clicks. So you want to have that image really pop off the page, and you really need to test an outrageous image that's totally not about whatever it is that you're talking about versus one that's 100% congruent with why they're going to the landing page. You got to test those two things out. From a video standpoint, again, we try to want to use a square video, 600 by 600, something like that, up to 1080. That's really where you want to go. It has to be a 3-second minimum but you can only go up to 60 seconds. So I have found that for the most part, usually the video ads are better just for audience building, like I've talked about on other episodes about how to use videos to build your audience, and they're good for retargeting. Outside of that, I don't use them just for a primary ad to try to get people to a landing page, to an opt-in or a webinar or something like that. When you're writing copy, it's real simple. You're going to use less copy for the most part, because Facebook is a lot better platform for having a lot of copy, and then with the image or video or whatever you're using. Instagram doesn't work that way. The image is the feature, so it's hard to get people to get into the copy. So what you're going to do with the copy, though, is you're going to use more emojis. Even if your target audience may not be into emojis, the fact that they're on Instagram, they're used to seeing them, so they kind of expect that. So use more emojis with your copy. Okay, I wouldn't go emoji crazy, but use it regular. And the same kind of copy rules apply to Instagram as they do any other copy for any other medium, right? It doesn't matter whether it's direct mail or Facebook or anything else. So you want to make sure to use those same principles, whether it's problem, agitate, solve, or whatever it is that you're going to use for your copy. So when you're actually in, and I just kind of wanted to talk about this, when you're actually in Facebook Ads Manager and you're setting up your campaign, you can still use all the same objectives that you were using before. That's still fine, with the couple of exceptions here. I'm sorry, when you're using for the feed you can, but if you're using stories, you can't use messages, catalog, and store visits, which I usually don't talk about much anyway. But for the Instagram feed, you can use all of them. So what you're going to do here is, if we set up a typical conversion campaign just like normal, okay, and we'll go into what we call our ad set. And if y'all recall, our ad set is where we go in and we go ahead and select our placements. There's a selection when you scroll down the page that says placements, and it's selected automatic placements. But as most of you all know, I'm going to want you to edit those placements. And inside those placements, you'll see that there's Facebook, Instagram, Audience Network, and Messenger. And we're going to remove Facebook. We're going to remove Instagram Stories. We're going to remove the Audience Network, and we're going to remove Messenger. Okay? And that's all you have to do. Everything else is the same. You leave the Instagram feed. Okay? When you get into the ad level, okay, just so you know, you have to select your Instagram account, so you can't forget that. So you'll go in and select your Instagram account. And when you do that, now your ads will run in the Instagram newsfeed. If you don't have your Instagram account connected, you'll need to connect your Instagram account to your Facebook Ads Manager, which is not difficult at all. You'll just go in and there'll be a place for you to do that. So once you start running Instagram ads, and I actually suggest this before you start running, is you want to develop what your key performance indicators are. You can use what you've done on Facebook as a go by, but don't use it as the end all be all. And I said this on the last episode, and I'm just going to kind of clarify that. If you're running ads to a webinar on Facebook, and let's just say you're getting a $5 conversion, on Instagram it may cost you $7. Right? So you might be thinking, oh, well, it costs me more, so I'm just going to stick with Facebook. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. However, if you know that you can pay up to $9 and Instagram's getting them for $7 and Facebook's getting them for $5, run them on both. Okay, that's where most people make the mistake. They keep going after the least expensive one without understanding their metrics. So you need to know what the maximum is that you're willing to pay for something and what each conversion is actually worth to you in terms of dollars. Now, you may be new and you may not know all that stuff right now, and that's okay. All right, that's perfectly fine. You can just test it out and see how it goes. That's what you have to do anyway. You have to put the stuff out there, see what kind of return on investment you're getting, and then make your best decision on what to do next. So that's it. That's all you have to know about setting up your Instagram ads. It's not that difficult. I talk about this in my Marketing with the Twang membership. There's a course that I'm renaming it, so we're going to be brand new. It's called Facebook Ad Fundamentals. It's going to be available here within the next week or two. There's Facebook Ad for Beginners that's in there, but I'm changing it to Facebook Ad Fundamentals. That is Instagram. It's just a matter of making those placement changes like I just talked about. So come join us over there. It's marketingwithetwang.com. We'd love to have you. And otherwise, I'll see you guys on episode 77. Talk to you later.